Welcome back. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is gaining support from a number of Republicans as he continues to defy U.S. President Joe Biden over immigration enforcement along the U.S. Mexico border. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of the Biden administration, saying it could remove razor wire installed by the Texas National Guard. But since the ruling, Abbott has declared an invasion on the southern border, and the state has added even more wire. Manisa Dennebalan joins us live with more on this story. Good evening, Manisa.
Good evening, Nicole. On Monday, the nation's highest court granted an emergency appeal which reversed a lower court ruling that prevented federal border agents from cutting the wire. But right now, the standoff still continues in Eagle Pass. In a statement released on Wednesday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott accused U.S. President Joe Biden of violating immigration laws and asserted the state's right to self-defense. His statement read in part, "I have already declared an invasion under Article I-10, Clause 3 to invoke Texas's constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary."
And that is because the Biden administration has really, truly abdicated its responsibility to secure the border and enforce the laws. Texas, very simply, is securing the border.
Razor wire along Texas's border with Mexico is part of Abbott's border security initiative, known as Operation Lone Star. Advocates say migrants who got tangled in it were injured, and the Justice Department argues it makes it tough to patrol the border.
And it's not making people's lives safer. It's actually making it harder for law enforcement at the border to do their job. And so we have been very clear. We want to make sure we get something done at the border. That's why we've been having these conversations with Senate Republicans and Democrats for the past several weeks to come up with a bipartisan agreement to deal with the border.
Earlier this month, Texas officials took control of Shelby Park in Eagle Pass and blocked Border Patrol agents from entering. Abbott claimed it was to stop recent illegal border crossings. According to reports, in the week before Christmas, more than 22,000 asylum-seeking migrants crossed the river and entered the park to get inside Eagle Pass. Biden asked the Supreme Court to step in after Border Patrol agents claimed the razor wire prevented them from saving a migrant woman and 2 children from drowning. But the state said they already drowned before Border Patrol was notified. Since the ruling, federal border agents are now allowed to cut the wires. But Abbott has been allowing the state's National Guard to add even more.
Well, I think given what we have to deal with, that the razor wire is helping move the flow.
Abbott has gained a lot of support from Republican governors in other states, including Virginia and Georgia. He's also backed by Speaker Mike Johnson, who posted on X saying, "I stand with Governor Abbott. The House will do everything in its power to back him up." Florida Governor Ron DeSantis also chiming in, writing, "Florida will keep assisting Texas with personnel and assets." Meanwhile, Texas Democrat Joaquin Castro called on the president to take control of the Texas National Guard. The day after the ruling, the Department of Homeland Security demanded Texas give it full access to the border by January 26th. So far, there hasn't been any response from the Biden administration regarding Abbott's decision to assert the state's right to defend itself. Biden has faced sharp criticism from Republicans on his immigration policies, and surely it will come up when a short-term spending bill expires in March.